It started with a chant. Then came the sirens. And before anyone could react, a single gunshot cracked the night wide open. In cities across America, what began as peaceful protests spiraled into unforgettable tragedies: murders, disappearances, fires, and standoffs that shocked the nation and the world. In this story, we're uncovering 10 of the most shocking crimes that took place during protests in the United States, each one more gripping, more haunting, and more real than the last. Incident 1. The night the bridge went silent, Portland, Oregon. November 12, 2016. The Morrison Bridge had always been a flashpoint during demonstrations, but that night was different. Protesters filled the span, chanting, waving signs, and recording live feeds. Among them was 23-year-old Michael Lane, a Black Lives Matter activist known for his peaceful demeanor. As tensions escalated between marchers and counter-protesters, a car approached. Words were exchanged. Then the flash. A single bullet. Michael dropped. Police scoured surveillance and social media. A man was seen fleeing. Weeks passed before an arrest. 36-year-old Kyle Mason, ex-military, later confessed the protest had triggered PTSD. The court convicted him of manslaughter. The city mourned. And the bridge became a memorial. Incident 2. The Red Hat and the Rifle, Lafayette, Indiana. April 5, 2025. At a hands-off protest, tension reached a boil when 42-year-old Dave Harlow, wearing a Trump 2024 shirt, exited his truck, walked to the bed, and pulled out an AR-15. He didn't aim it, but the crowd surged. Then a protester headbutted him. The chaos was instant. Police arrived. Guns were drawn. Both men were arrested. But no charges stuck. It turned out Dave never pointed the weapon, and the headbutter had acted on instinct, not intent. Still, social media lit up. The image of a man in red, rifle slung over his shoulder amid a sea of signs, became symbolic of a nation divided. Incident 3. The Vanishing Protester, New York City, New York. March 13, 2025. 27-year-old Samira Ahmed, a Columbia law student, attended a protest inside Trump Tower demanding the release of activist Mahmoud Khalil. When the NYPD stormed in to make mass arrests, Samira was separated from her group. She never made it home. Days turned into weeks. Her phone last pinged from a basement-level corridor of the building. Conspiracy theories exploded online. Surveillance footage showed a man in a janitor's uniform escorting her through a service entrance. The man was identified as Carlos Nunez, a contractor with a sealed juvenile record. Interrogation revealed nothing. Samira's body was never found. The case remains open, a haunting chapter in protest history. Incident 4. The Tesla torchings, Seattle, Washington, and Boston, Massachusetts. In early March 2025, Elon Musk's support of Trump sparked backlash. On March 3, 7 Tesla superchargers in Boston were set ablaze. 6 days later, 4 Cybertrucks were torched in Seattle. No injuries, but millions in damage. Investigators followed anarchist forums. A suspect emerged, Lila Hart, 29, a former software engineer turned eco-activist. Her manifesto, posted anonymously, was traced back to her IP. During her trial, Lila claimed she wasn't trying to hurt anyone, just to wake up the machine. She was sentenced to 14 years. Her trial sparked nationwide debate about political protest versus domestic terror. Incident 5. Blood on the Steps, Los Angeles, California. February 8, 2025. Protesters flooded LA City Hall in opposition to new immigration laws. Among them, Diego Torres, 17, there with his sister. Midway through a chant, a scuffle broke out. Then screams. Diego lay bleeding, stabbed 3 times. Police reviewed drone footage. The attacker had a distinctive tattoo, a spider on the neck. They arrested 24-year-old Mark Benson, a known gang affiliate. His motive? "I thought they were trying to start a riot," he said. He was convicted of second-degree murder. Incident 6. Bomb threat in D.C., Washington, D.C. February 23, 2025. The principal's first summit was underway, a moderate conservative event. Then a threat came in. A bomb, hidden in the conference center, targeting attendees like ex-Capitol cop Michael Fanone and John Bolton. Evacuation was swift. No bomb was found, but texts traced the threat to Enrique Tarrio's phone, the former Proud Boys leader. He denied sending them. Forensic analysis proved he was hacked. The real sender? A political rival trying to frame him. No one was charged. But the incident forced new scrutiny on digital security and protest politics. Incident 7, Vanishing Voice, Chicago, Illinois. January 30, 2024. 31-year-old podcast host Theo Grant vanished hours after covering a protest downtown. Known for exposing police overreach, Theo had received threats. His last recording ended mid-sentence. His apartment was untouched, laptop missing. But his encrypted cloud backup held a clue, a confrontation with a plainclothes officer. Investigation pointed toward Detective Miles Rourke, already under internal review. He denied involvement. Theo remains missing. Rourke was eventually fired but never charged. Incident 8, Fire and Fury, Atlanta, Georgia. March 1, 2025. A protest against voting law changes turned chaotic. Someone set fire to the Fulton County Board of Elections van. Inside? Ballots and laptops. Anonymous tips led to 22-year-old Keenan Brooks, a college student radicalized online. He claimed he didn't know the van was full of voting materials. Charged with arson, he pled guilty and received 8 years. But his arrest caused unrest, with some calling him a scapegoat. Incident 9, the Capitol Standoff, Des Moines, Iowa. February 27, 2025. During a protest at the Iowa Capitol, a man stormed the governor's office with a fake explosive vest, demanding airtime to expose the media lies. Negotiators stalled him. After 4 hours, SWAT moved in. The man, Eric Caldwell, 38, had no real bomb. Just plastic tubing and duct tape. He was charged with terrorism. In court, his lawyer argued mental illness. The judge sentenced him to a treatment facility. Incident 10, the Silent Crowd, Denver, Colorado. February 8, 2025. 3 women walking to an anti-Trump rally were harassed and attacked by 2 men. The video went viral, slurs, shoving, 1 woman knocked unconscious. Police arrested 34-year-old brothers, Dean and Larry Walters. They claimed self-defense. But the footage said otherwise. Both men were sentenced to 6 years. The survivor, Maya Lin, later spoke at the UN on political violence and resilience. When protests turn into crime scenes, these 10 stories aren't just headlines. They're lives, families, movements, torn apart or galvanized. They raise difficult questions. When does protest end and crime begin? And when justice feels distant, who gets to define what resistance looks like? America, divided as it is, continues to march, chant, and fight. But beneath every chant, there's a story. And sometimes, that story ends in blood, fire, or silence.